It's slobbering time.
That's my favorite.
What did you mean by that?
No, wait. No, we can't say that.
Oh yeah.
Whose team are we on?
What's your favorite river?
The River Thames?
For me, it's the Crimea River.
Nice. Shout out to your close personal. Were you in the same dojo? We dojo mates?
Me and Jack?
Yeah.
No. He was Southern California. I was Northern California. But we did have a match
forbidden
together.
lovers.
Anthony Turtles, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, he was in LA. I was in San Francisco. And we did 2 matches together, actually.
One.
Who won?
Yeah.
I won the first one. He won the second one.
Whoa. One
Yes,
more match
so
to go. And there's only one place to do it.
It's all elite. How dare Billy Gunn do that to MXM Collection? Yeah, beyond just interrupting our segment, can we talk about how nobody knows where Hans is?
We don't know where Hans is, and Billy, this is the 3rd time you've worn blackface, pal.
No! Shockingly, nobody commented on that.
Not one! What was
Shockingly.
the point?
I don't know, like, we thought of it, and we said, is this something we need to worry about? And Caster and Bones were like, no. Right? And we were all like, either way it's bad because neither of us are white, so he's gonna be wearing some minority's face.
It's why we need to have a greater discussion on like the ethics of blackface.
Whoa! What
Comrade
is
Broski,
going on?
Thank you for giving the people subs.
Holy shit!
In honor of blackface.
Sayo si Buscemi, Nese, hello.
I used to think it was
What?
Sayo Steve Buscemi. Wreck-It Chaka, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Any one of you can subscribe with Prime for free.
Wreck-It Chaka, Wreck-It Chaka.
Wreck-It Chaka.
Dude, comrade, very kind of you. Thank you so much.
Comrade.
You are truly the embodiment of the proletariat.
You are the people's champion. What did the Rock mean by that?
Oh, well, you didn't know that Rock was heavily influenced by Marxian dialogue and discourse?
He's Dwayne the Marx Johnson.
Jackson. Actually, he regularly debated with Kane about what's it called? Keynesian economics? Is that what it's called?
Libertarian Kane versus the People's Champion.
Between
Dwayne
Marxist
Johnson.
Dwayne. Kane versus Dwayne. Yeah, Keynesian economics.
Who is the... Okay, so, yeah. We've got...
Das Kapital!
We've got Marxian
Yeah, they discussed...
Dwayne Johnson. Obviously, there's
Right.
Libertarian Kane.
Marxist. Marxian.
Who is the fascist wrestler?
Hunter. Everyone knows
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Of course. What are we... What?
No, I'm just really into history.
No, I just really like German...
Well, Hunter, you could choose anybody to be your champion right now. Which one you going with?
I'm just really into history, German history.
You know.
Wait, actually,
Hitler
we
was
shouldn't
Austria,
say that.
Right?
No, we shouldn't be talking about that or drawing any line in the sand. Line in the sand, because that's a big discourse right now, and I'm not trying to suggest it. We're joking. It's not. We're not suggesting anything. Okay.
Unless
I forgot that people are talking about that in a certain way at the moment. I'm not trying to accuse anyone of anything.
The line in the sand.
Yeah, chat, we had a segment last night on Collision, Grand Slam Collision. Many people are saying greatest segment of all time.
Many people are saying this.
Many people are saying this. So we're riding high off of that, you know.
Let's get right into our big announcement so that we can cut to
Oh,
our
yeah.
beautiful faces. So now that people are here, why don't you guys get ready for something we think you'll really like? Oh my! Can you believe it? A clean, fashionable jacket representing us, your favorite,
Looks pretty cool.
your favorite streamers on Twitch. Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Isn't that a big W? Are you guys on your way to
huge.
order it right now at foryourwear.com/MXM?
All you ludicrously wealthy money bags.
You don't
Mr.
even
Monopoly
need to be.
motherfuckers.
It's not even that expensive.
It's not?
No, I was shocked.
Really?
I don't know what the final price was, but I know it's under $100, which is good for a jacket.
For a clean ass jacket like that?
Yeah, we don't have the exact the new design done by me, obviously. We have a former design that was in the works. You guys have probably seen it a little bit, but very comfortable, like the perfect fall weight and thickness. And soft.
Wait, hold on a second. Where can I buy it? I don't see it.
At For Your Wear. Oh, is it? Well, I have no control over that. Blow.
Wait a minute. Blow. I'm on the website right now.
Blow.
Did we shoot our load a little too early?
Well, I will text him and it'll definitely be up by the end of the stream. So
yeah, watch out for that.
Yeah, look out for that.
The Razor Gems. So happy you liked my Photoshop of you two pointing to Sonic and Mario kissing. Yeah, that was a good one.
I didn't see that. I would have liked that.
I retweeted it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm huge into Sonic right now. Ever since I discovered the fan dub where Eggman's like, "Shadow the Hedgehog, you bitch ass motherfucker! You fucked my wife." What is that one? Oh, it's there.
I just know. Oh, it's there. Good.
There it is.
Thanks, Gambit.
Who is it under? MXM. Oh yeah, there you go. Huh, I wonder how I didn't see that.
Thank you, Gambit. That's why we pay you the big bucks.
The big bucks. Oh, nice.
Well, it's the big bucks. Is
no more
the same?
BS.
Is that the same thing where? Is that the same thing where Eggman says, "I miss my wife, Tails"?
I miss my wife, Tails. Snapcube. Yeah.
I also like the ones where like Shadow is an incel and Sonic keeps calling him out for it. I don't know if it's all the same universe.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's apparently improv. I was very impressed.
It's good. It's good
I'm
stuff.
like so Brennan, you can talk to Chad a little bit about this.
I can.
I think I might be my least biggest fan.
In terms of what?
Well, okay, so let's think about my reaction. So let's talk about how we did Hey EW with RJ City, the phenomenal
yeah.
talented RJ. Remember, RJ came to us and was like, "Hey, EW, the way that I do this is I ask people, do you want to know the questions beforehand? Like, do you want to write jokes?" And my kind of thinking was, let's do takes where you surprise us with the questions and we'll answer off the cuff. And then if I think of something, because I'm a write it down guy. Like you
are a big write it down guy, and I am not a write it down guy.
People don't respect this because it's wrestling, and everybody thinks that wrestling has to be improvised, even though 99% of matches that you'll ever see on television and pay-per-view is called move for move. Not move for move, but for the most part,
months in advance.
Yeah. It's a business of choreography now more than ever. particularly because there's so much television production that goes into camera angles and lighting, and everybody has to know where everybody is going to be at every time. So the business is different, and I always think about when William Regal, who I respect greatly, once said that he lost a little bit of appreciation for Savage and Steamboat when he found out that they had planned the match beforehand. And it's such an interesting thought because to me, it's like, well, does knowing that they planned it really make it any worse? Like, does it lessen your enjoyment? Like, surely it's more impressive when people improvise a match. Absolutely. But in what
But
scenario
even
does
then,
that
aren't you
happen?
just grading it on a scale? Like if I see a match and I'm like, oh, these guys didn't call any of it before, then I'm kind of just like, wow, that was really good for a match that they didn't call before, right? Like even if
I
it's
guess,
really good, like the thought is, wow, that's really good for not knowing what you were going to do before you went out there,
yeah.
which
I mean,
implies
and
that it would always be better if you knew what you were doing.
not always, but I would say most of the time.
Well,
I would
we've
say
we've
most.
discussed this with on stream even with Dijak, where wrestling is at this point, mostly thanks to our close personal EVPs, the Young Bucks, where yes, it is choreographed, but also like the benefit of calling it out there has always been, oh well, you can react to the crowd, right?
Yeah,
Um, we're kind of at a different point in the business now where it's like our close personal mentor Terry Red Rooster Taylor always says, we are the conductors and the audience, they play to when we tell them to play, right? So it's almost like it's a different type of game where we are reacting to them, but also we're leading them to the reactions.
Joe Hendry put over Terry, popped me huge because probably the first public acknowledgement of Terry in a long time.
And he looks great. It was
um,
good to see him.
he looks amazing. Um, yeah, to speak on that, I feel like wrestling has become a solved game in the same way that like tic tac toe is a solved game. You know what I mean? Where
Whoa.
you could watch that Bucks United Empire match. That's Fletcher and Osprey, right?
Oh yes, the UAE.
Not quite. And you could watch that match, and if you're a student of the game and you've been watching wrestling a long time, especially modern wrestling, you could predict just exactly when a crowd was going to react a certain way based on the spots, right? You knew when they were going to chant "This is awesome." You know what I mean? You knew when they were going to chant "Your fight forever." You can predict it, and you can structure a match so that you can get that response, almost like Pavlovian, right?
Yes.
Where we've kind of solved the game. Like there's a way to, if you're given enough time and stakes, know when a crowd is going to feel a certain way. So I wonder, like in that sense, I would love to look. I would love, and it's hard to tell because sometimes you don't know when something is called, you don't know when something's on the fly. But I would really love to find like a recent example of a match that went like 20 to 30 minutes that we know was called on the fly, and watch that in comparison to something that's planned. You know what I
It
mean?
would have to be like it's probably like a Cena match. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like Cena
Yeah,
Theory he said, "Oh, we'll call it
Cena
out there.
theory.
We'll call it out there."
Yeah,
I don't remember the match, but I would not be shocked at all having uh, wrestled Cena myself. I don't think
right.
he's in the business of calling a match anymore.
No, no. And when you said Cena theory, I thought you were calling the
The
idea of
Cena
call of
Theory.
I thought you were calling it the but now I know you mean Cena wrestling Austin theory.
It
Yeah,
works
Cena would
both
not.
ways.
Cena. I mean, obviously, like I remember in that match there was a spot where Cena had Austin in the STF and tapped him out while the ref was down. Obviously, you have to call that. But for the most part, like the opening spots, the heat, that's the kind of stuff that you don't have to call. And that's true. You don't have to, especially the heat. Like the heat, you don't always call the heat. In fact, if there's anything that you don't call, it's the heat. For those of you who don't know, that's when the baby face is the good guy in the match is, on the mat getting beat up. And then they slowly worked away and mount a comeback where it's like boom, boom, boom. You don't have to tell somebody what they got to do. Just sell, right? Just get punched and kicked and work a hold, and um, usually that kind of thing happens actually in the commercial break. So most of the time you might not even see it. So that's interesting. But this
Yeah,
is
I
all
noticed that
we
now
got.
that we have matches that go for 2 segments. So it's like,
Yes, yeah.
oh, we do all our moves in the commercial break.
You guys, you will notice. You'll never not notice now that every time it comes back from commercial, it will go to a hot tag every single time. But this is all a roundabout way. I don't know how we got so off topic, but I wanted to say that when we filmed AEW, I knew that people had really high expectations for our episode of AEW. And when we filmed it, I felt that my performance was not good. I felt that I
Yeah,
was
you
not
hate
funny.
yourself.
I felt that I was not quick witted, and I when I I even went to RJ afterwards. I was like, "Are you happy? Were you happy with that?" He was like,
Yeah, I
"Yeah." And I
remember
was
it
like,
was like you sounded so like was it good for you?
I was like, I was like, I almost it was almost a way of begging him to tell me, "No, let's film a couple more takes."
Yeah, and
I
then
was like, "Were you
you
happy
even
with
asked me.
that?"
You were like, "You wanna? Is there anything else you wanna like get in?" And I was like, "No." I, and it's I think specifically with that show and that environment, a lot of the funniness is the weird, awkward in between that
That's
comes
true.
from not knowing, and sometimes it is like the snappy thing you say, like thanks Hunter, like the stuff that I would have never said that unless it
If
was
we planned it,
if we
no, that
planned it,
was
I would
off
have
the
never
cuff.
said it. But
Well,
like
I mean, yeah, that's the difference, isn't it? I think you're very quick, and I think that I get so in my head all the time that you come off much better in those
I think
environments.
where we work well together is that you are very verbose and you can speak very well for very long, whereas I'm like I jab. Like I'll get like
Yeah,
I'll punch a joke in like right after you, and I know how you talk, so I almost always know when to do it. So I
yeah,
think you can kind of get stuck in your own head of like, oh, did I yap for a little bit too long? And it's like, nah, not
yeah.
really. It's just the dynamic. I knew it was gonna be great because my favorite interview that we've ever done. Do you know which one it is? It's a
On TV
random no,
or
just in general.
in general? No.
My favorite interview we ever did was when we had finished our match in Gorbachev, Poland, and we did like a series of
Oh,
interviews
yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah.
row, and they
Right.
were like half in character and just completely off the cuff, and we
Yeah,
did not care because we figured nobody would ever see it because it was in Polish.
yeah,
And we were just going off, and I was like, this is so funny. That's exactly what I thought AEW was going to be.
yeah. Well, I was not surprised, but I was happy to see that people received it very well. Um,
It was
it
the high expectations had me a little bit worried because I've heard we want to see you guys on AEW since we got signed.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, and then I don't know if it's good to talk about
Why not?
what. Okay, so I was kind of a negative Nancy. Should we talk about this?
What is the harm? It's not
Okay.
everybody here liked the segment, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're
Let's peel back the curtain a little bit.
okay,
We can
sure.
peel back the curtain a little bit.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
It was our first time doing a live in ring segment, right?
Promo, yeah.
So there was a little bit of like a weirdness there to it.
Thank you, Laserscope, for subscribing. You laughed your ass off. Thank you so much.
So I think there was a little bit of weirdness for us going into it in general. But as soon as we were done, you were concerned with. You said immediately after it was like, "I'm gonna say off Twitter, I don't think the discourse is gonna be very good," which is fair. Like I completely understand where people are coming from because they've been so conditioned over the course of the past 20 years of bad WWE comedy segments? Would you say it's been 20 years? What was the last like
I think about 20 years ago was 2004. where you had, Tori Wilson's dad in a turkey costume cut a promo.
Well, that wasn't good either. That was funny in like its own way. But like it's been a
um,
so, okay. So Dijak brought up the good point of um nobody looks back and says, "Oh, this is your life. The Rock was a bad comedy WWE segment," right?
so actually, funny story that Terry Taylor, the Red Rooster, told us was because he used to be in The Office back then, and he was in Gorilla when that segment happened, and they went so over time, that Rock Mankind segment. When they got to the back, Vince threw his headset on the ground and said to Vince Russo, who was the writer, "Congratulations, you just killed my company." And then the next day, the ratings came in, and it was the highest rated segment that had ever been on Monday Night Raw.
So just like this is your
So
life, our segment was the highest
Brandon
rated.
Thurston, let us know. Brandon Thurston, let us know because I'm curious. Could you imagine if just like hundreds of thousands of people changed
Everybody
the show?
started tuning in to see this. No, I completely understand. I think what the difference is at the end of the day, uh, nobody can say that we didn't perform well, right?
Yeah, it's not like the promos or the delivery was bad. I think just kind of the concept. There's a certain kind of fan who AW has a lot of fans because it was established as an alternative to WWE that kind of saw that and went, this is not for me.
Which, to be fair,
It's
is
that's totally
completely
fine. Yeah,
fine.
that's
That's
totally fine. That's
completely
totally
fine.
okay.
But
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
thing that I did notice in a bit of the response was it's like a lack of awareness that, and this isn't a complaint or anything. You're completely entitled to your opinion. I do not care. It does not change my job in any way. But we were there for the entirety of the Collision and Dynamite taping, and it is all of these awesome high impact matches. By the time our segment went on, what would you
At
say?
11:30, by
At
the way, 11:30
11:30,
p.m. Yep.
15-ish matches had gone by.
It was a lot
15
of matches.
15-minute matches at least. It's
I don't know if the math adds up there, but it was a lot. Yeah, yeah.
it's something like at least 15. Yeah, it adds up. But I always think, a wrestling show should be a little bit of a variety show, right? You should have, and I think AEW does it particularly well, where they have the different types of matches where you can just have like, oh yeah, this is just a do stuff luchador match and it'll be awesome. My mom's new favorite type of match is the hologram Mortos matches.
Yeah.
You'll have like this is a heavy story match where this has been building for a while, and then
Yeah,
sometimes it's
Hangman and
just
Jarrett was
yeah.
built up for a long time, and it was a very old school kind of, yeah, it was a strap match. And yeah, you had
Um,
the triple threat luchador match, you had the Hangman Jarrett strap match, you had the Soraya Jamie hardcore match. It was all very different matches.
and in that 4 or 5 hours of content, 8 minutes of it was a silly fashion show, which and I'm learning about our demographics. Women loved it.
Women and
So women, the girls and the gays,
queens
Tumblr,
and the
the Tumblr
queers.
response, magnanimous. They
Oh,
loved it.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know
Tumblr,
that.
not a negative opinion on Tumblr.
That's kind of
Um,
the one environment that I've never had a foray into
it's
on the
kind of my
internet.
it's kind of my favorite. I was never a wrestling
Is that your
Tumblr person.
niche?
I was always on the periphery of Tumblr because to say we're friends because we have a mutual website in our past, right? But the boards I frequented were the more Tumblr
Uh,
adjacent ones.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
I was a little bit more of like I use CGL.
Yeah, that might have been the only board with women on it, I
Yes.
think.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. It was kind of
Mhm.
famously, oh yeah, this is where the girls hang out, and then they also would have tumblers. So it
Right.
was kind of a similar culture, and
Yeah.
so I started doing the Tumblr as Mace in retribution, just as kind of like a joke, because I was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if Mace had a Tumblr? And I brought it back because they love us. So, but 100% positive. That audience loved it. And, you know, not everything is for everybody, and you're entitled to
Yeah,
whatever opinion you are, but the people who enjoyed it, which is all I can ask.
I'm it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like
You thought it was
I
gonna. You
thought.
thought we were finished.
Well, I'm always kind of, ever since I kind of figured it's a new era in professional wrestling, and bookers and promoters, they look at what's on the internet, and in many ways, the perception of you on the internet can affect your career. And I always get kind of paranoid about that, because it's very easy to, sometimes the perception of a wrestler I don't feel is reflected in reality, because there are tastemakers and sometimes they can kind of shape the perception of a wrestler, as far as how good they are or how much effort they're putting in. That may not reflect what we see as their peer, as their coworker.
And I think there was a
Um,
time, specifically under Vince. Vince would not care.
well, we worked for a guy, yes, who did not give it, and actually, in many ways,
To his
did the
detriment.
opposite.
Yeah, to his
Yeah.
detriment.
Well, there's a balance, right?
There's a
Because
balance.
everyone is on the internet now, so you can't just say, "Oh, it's 1% of the audience," because, and pretty much the majority of, which is, everybody, that's been a hot topic for a long time, is on the internet. So sometimes it is helpful to look at that discourse and see what they think.
But kind of to
Um,
uh, Terry's point, there's a degree of let me be the conductor and you be the orchestra as the audience, that I think Vince had, in a way where yeah, he just go directly against what is like, oh, people are saying this.
well, I've told this story before, but for those of you who haven't heard it, after you were the commentator for this match, after
Yes.
the Fiend versus Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell, when it ended in a referee stoppage or a DQ or whatever, and it was met with just unanimous ire, booing, "We want refunds" chants,
I thought they were
AEW
gonna throw
chants.
garbage at me.
Apparently, Vince was on his private jet on the way to the next town, and one of the producers was there with him. And Vince took a shit, as he does, and he walks out of the. Well, he must have been thinking hard in there. And he walks out of the toilet, and he stands there, and all the producers look up at him, and he goes, if I could have done anything different, I wouldn't have. Fuck him. So
Very
there was a little
combative.
bit of a, yeah, there
I
was a
don't
little
think I
bit
don't
of
think
a,
we should ever be combative with our audience.
no,
Any
no.
percentage of our audience. I don't think you need to be completely beholden to everything they say. Um, so it's like you said, it is a balance. I think it's a balance
Yeah,
to, yeah. Let me, because I that was the thing. I would always look, and I'd like to see, oh, what is resonating, right? And not necessarily what is
yeah.
everybody like, or like what do people
What does
dislike.
everybody want?
What does everybody want? It becomes more of like okay, what aspect of my performance is sticking with anybody in any way? And
Sure.
then how can I get more out of my performance, knowing that? So if it is,
Hmm.
for example, something new that's specifically on this AEW run that we've had. I heard this from our close personal friend Swerve, who said that his girl loves how I say tips, because
How do you say tips?
so it started with it was just one promo, and I think it was the one where I said frosted tips, and he was
Okay.
like, my girl thinks that is the funniest thing she's ever heard. The way that you said frosted tips, she thought that was the greatest thing ever. So now, if you go and look at every promo since, I've tried to come up with a way, not necessarily to say tips, but I'll say something. I'll say something else with that inflection, just because I
Sure.
know, oh, that resonates with somebody. I think that's something
Yeah.
that's working. So it's like
And
a constant
if
tweaking.
odds are it'll resonate with other people too,
Yes, exactly.
because everyone is in some ways
I don't ever want to go out
similar.
there and not have like just be just missing. You know, like it's
Yeah,
nothing is hitting
yeah,
anybody. It's you're just out there firing blanks at some point.
yeah.
So it becomes like, I guess because now we're doing stuff all the time, it becomes how do I load this arsenal with things that I know will hit somebody every time I do
It's
something.
it's tough because okay, so I always use the top flight match as a great example of kind of what we are, right? We're gonna go out, and in the first couple minutes of the match, we're gonna establish our characters, and we're gonna put them over a little bit by having them look smarter than us. And then there's a cutoff, and then we do something absolutely ridiculous like House of Black. We had the judges, and they got crushed, and I got crushed. We set that up in the beginning to put over our characters, and then we used it as a tool to make the baby faces look smarter than us and put them over. With Top Flight, we did the buy panic spot where it was between you and Layla, and then I get super kicked out of that, and it led to the hot tag. That's the kind of thing where we then went on to have a really exciting action-packed match, and I'm always trying to do something that makes everybody happy. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. Usually that's used in a way like, oh, you're trying to make everybody happy. You can't make everybody happy. I think when you're selling a product, you want to try and make as many people as happy as possible because you want as many people to buy your product as possible. So if we can have matches and put on segments where there is a satisfactory amount of action and excitement, while at the same time making people smile and laugh and understand the dynamics between the characters, then we will have succeeded. And I just wasn't. I guess I wasn't as confident after that. And like you said, I don't think we've ever been trusted with that. When
It's
you're
a
given a
lot of
microphone,
it is a
it's a
crazy amount of trust.
it's a crate and a whole segment
A
where
whole
you talk.
segment that okay, put yourself in our position for a second.
Thank you for subscribing, Bookworm. We appreciate it.
We in our entire career, we scratched and clawed for every like second of TV time. Most of it wasn't live. Most of it was pre-taped where they could easily pull it at any moment. There were tons of segments that I was like, oh, I hope that makes TV. Or like we'd film it earlier in the day and just be like, I hope they don't. We'd be the first ones if they need to cut for time. So the level of trust and respect almost for us in that moment that I think the production staff and creative gave us in as a fairly new, unproven team to carry the ladder of an 8-minute segment before we had to carry that for a while before the over team showed up and came in and made everybody happy.
Yeah. Oh, dude, when I was in there, I was like, oh god, I can't wait till Billy takes off his fucking mask so we can get a pop. I mean, we got a pretty good reaction on our entrance.
So the thing is,
That was nice.
yeah, it's I guess to get back to the point of a live promo is very weird because
It's tough.
we can't hear ourselves.
Well, we cannot hear us. I don't know if you guys know that. I was
can't-
talking to that microphone,
Yeah.
and I was like, can
I hope I
anybody
sound
hear me?
okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I
couldn't
can't
even
hear
tell.
myself.
You can't hear the crowd reactions in the same way that you would normally do because
In a match,
it's
different.
Yeah. But the one thing that we did, was very apparent was on our entrance, very big, good reaction. There were MXM chants, which we went into the segment kind of expecting, like when we were going over the segment with RD, we were like, oh yeah, they'll boo here.
They'll boo, yeah.
They'll boo here. It's
No,
like,
that's another thing is like,
they don't.
I'm kind booing. But is that a failure on our part? I almost feel like we're like
no, because that is not the job that we've been tasked with.
I guess
if I think if we were put in a story where it was like, okay, we need to like show a different side of ourselves and get heat, then we would do it. But as of right now, you know this, chat might not realize this. We don't go through the heel tunnel. They know about the babyface in the heel tunnel.
That's by design. Yeah, that's
And
direction.
we have tried to go through the heel tunnel.
Well, I wouldn't say we tried. We
have.
assumed that we would.
We
assumed.
we didn't ask to, yeah, but we went.
We didn't say, why did I go to the heel tunnel?
Yeah.
We went to the heel tunnel, and then production was like, no, other tunnel.
What are you doing?
And I was like,
go to the other tunnel. Yeah.
And I think that's probably creative's way of telling us, like, we know you're getting cheered. We know you're playing the heel in this feud, but, like, we have another idea for you.
I think right now we play.
WWE says heel tunnel rejects you and spits you back.
We're spat out.
We can't. It's like an invisible wall. It's like in Fable 2. Like your morality meter is not.
We haven't done the necessary thing for our morality meter to.
Or Fallout. Your karma's too high to engage in this quest.
I think it's gonna sound really pretentious. I think what we do is like a very, I don't know. It's a very. For people who understand the medium of wrestling, we are a heel team that kind of relishes in the fact that we're a heel team, and that's something that people like, right? It's kind of high concept. It's very Lynchian.
It's very Lynchian. Well, it's one of those weird things where there's two kinds of heels that get over, right? There's heels that are so badass and awesome that they get over and get cheered. And then there's heels that are just too fun to watch, so you cheer them, right? I think we're the latter. I think that when people see us come out, they know they're gonna laugh, they're gonna smile, and they're gonna have fun. And yeah, I don't know.
Our job is to entertain right now.
I really didn't want to. Yeah, I really didn't want to come across as complaining about any reaction. I just kind of wanted to vent because I've thought a lot about it and I've felt a lot of things about it because I take a lot of pride in my job and I know you do too, but I get in my head way more about it. I mean, we hung out after the show and you remember how I was as I was gouging on pizza.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person where I'm reactive, and whenever I have a great segment, I think, holy shit, I'm set for life. And whenever I have something I don't feel good about, I'm like, it's over for me. Everyone's going to hate me. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is.
Which, to your point, you're conditioned that segments are so few and far between that they all matter so much, even though they didn't, even though they never mattered, right? It didn't matter when we were in WWE, if we had a segment and we knocked it out of the park, it would not affect whether or not we were going to get another segment.
And if we had a segment that we bombed, it wouldn't matter.
It would also not affect. Yes.
Yeah, because the decision made about here, it's different. Yeah,
we are pretty consistently getting that segment. And sometimes, this isn't even to say I don't think it didn't work. I think it worked. But sometimes things are going to work and sometimes things aren't going to work. And I think it's just part of the learning process of becoming a star. And actually, would it have been better if we just played it super safe?
No. No, I mean, people still would have thought it was ridiculous. The concept was ridiculous, yes. Right? If I had to try and think about a way that would satisfy everyone doing that segment, I guess it would just have to be a lot shorter. But if we didn't have the time we did, we wouldn't be able to build to Billy. So before the segment even aired, somebody posted a clip of it, and it was just Billy's back as he was half naked. And I can kind of see why.
Okay, I get it. No, I understand.
And people didn't even know it was Billy. I thought, oh, everyone's gonna know it's Billy. Of course. Look at him. Look at this. Look at this fucking. He's the best. He has the best physique of anybody in the company. He's the biggest guy in the company besides Satnam Singh. Everybody's getting to know it's Billy. People didn't know it was Billy.
I didn't know.
They thought we just got some random, like 2004 OVW guy to come be our bodybuilder.
To which I said, it's almost like looking at like a clip of Scary Movie and being like, wow, this scary movie is like it sucks. This isn't a good horror movie. It's like seeing just like one thing out of context and not fully getting the entirety of the.
It's fine. I know we're gonna have that match with them, and it's gonna be awesome. And it's like it doesn't matter, but yeah, I don't know. It was just I just want to vent, and I consider not doing this because I don't want to in any way make it seem like one I resent anybody who it wasn't their cup of tea. I don't. It's totally fine. Or two, imply that I didn't have confidence in the company for putting that on because, um, at the end of the day, like we were trusted with that, and I felt that we delivered in the performative aspect, and um, I'm incredibly thankful that we
Yeah.
got that time,
You know what?
and I'm incredibly thankful in general.
Company good. Fans good. Fans good.
Everybody's okay.
You know what else? You know what else? Other company
Huh?
good.
Other company good.
Good.
Other company good.
Friends happy. Other company good.
Yeah.
Friends leave other company, can work for company now. Good. All good.
Good. Friends leave company we in. Go other company. Good. Be happy.
Good.
We like happy. We like
happy.
happy.
Me, no care about big company. Big company, not my friend. My friend, I hope, make money.
My friend people. I like people make money. Yes, I like people make money.
Me like wrestling. Me like more wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Me like wrestling every day of week.
And let me say this. We wanted a feud with Pretty Deadly so bad. We pitched it so many fucking times. So let that out, okay? Because I see it a lot. I see, why didn't these guys we wanted it to happen. When we found out that we weren't going to be the models anymore, we said, let us wrestle these guys and let us have a loser must never model again or something. Like, let us give this to them so they can have it and run with it. Not that we were the first ones to do it, or even before we didn't do it before them. But just like you're leaving money on the table. I just want when we're talking about the other company.
It makes me happy that it is still something that people want.
Why didn't it happen?
Because it means that we were right. Right?
Yeah, but
because somebody had to say, "Oh, nobody wants to see that" at some point. So I'm glad that on everything that either of us do, there's like, "Oh, I wish." Good. Continue to wish.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that a lot longer than I wanted to, and I hope nobody takes anything out of context.
They will
make us look bad,
but it's okay.
Oh. This is a good opportunity to clear something up. Speaking of taking something out of context, we did the awesome AW Unrestricted podcast.
Oh yeah,
with Will Washington and Aubrey Edwards. And what did you say? You didn't get heat. You're fine, of course.
I'm never taken out of context because I'll beat people.
Yeah, you. I'm always the one who gets in trouble for everything because I'm neurotic. It's funny because just kind of like the segment we just did, there's a camp that was really happy I said this, and a camp that was really unhappy I said this. Let me clarify. When I said that when we were in the Indies, our goal was to get in AEW. That's 100% true. And then I said something kind of confusing, which was even in WWE. And then I went on to kind of ramble about something, as I tend to. My implication was not to say that our goal was to get into AEW while we were in WWE. Our intention in WWE was to be as much of an asset as possible to the people who employed us, because that's what an employee does. Right?
That's what our goal always is.
Right. So what I meant to say was, and of course that's cope. Every cope begins with that. It was that when we were in NXT, and particularly when we weren't doing anything on TV, it was very romantic to watch AEW and think, God, like, what would it be like if we were there? That's kind of what I meant, right?
That's what he. You were very clear that you said that.
Well, but I can understand how people would
understand that reading comprehension is low in the world right now.
No, but I did say I said even in WWE after I said the goal was to get into AEW.
Yeah.
I and that's
I
so
think
when we
I think that people
an
rated R
anonymous
co.
gifter, is that an account?
I think you can just gift and sub to anybody. You just make it up.
And Twitch
Um,
just takes the money?
yeah,
That's insane.
that's fine. Um,
Yeah.
I think people who are WWE fans, people who are AEW fans, are so entrenched. And I think this applies in more than just wrestling, but I think
Well,
people.
it's console wars, right? It's
It's
just console
console
wars.
wars, it's politics,
It's just Sony,
it's literally
Microsoft,
everything.
Nintendo. Yeah,
Where, as a fan of wrestling, it doesn't matter. Like, if I guess we're bad examples because it now affects our lives. But if I like
sure.
wrestling, there being wrestling somewhere else does not hurt me. Even if it's not the wrestling that I don't particularly care for. If it's Coke versus Pepsi, maybe I prefer Coke. But it doesn't make me upset
It
that
would kind of
Pepsi
like if you were at
exists.
a restaurant, and you said, "Hey, can I have a Diet Coke?" and they said, "We have Diet Pepsi." What the what? This fucking restaurant has Diet Pepsi. Let's get the fuck out of here. You throw the fucking plate. You start firebombing the goddamn restaurant.
You could just say, okay, well then I'll just have this, or maybe you could just have the Pepsi. It's okay.
Anonymous gifter, thank you for gifting. Manny is goated. I thought that said Manny is goatsy.
Goatsy.
69. Yeah, no. I wherever I work, and I think I speak for both of us when I say we want to be the most valuable asset to that company that we work for. It was just kind of a like when AEW first started, a lot of people in WWE were like, "Oh wow, like this is new, this is exciting." Crofographic, thank you so much for the gifted sub. So that's I just kind of wanted to clear that up. And now it's gonna be like I'm not even gonna say it, but
Mansoor copes hard.
I don't want to engage in the tribal stuff. I
It
just
doesn't make
don't like.
sense.
It's not.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, and it's we're a bad example because all of our friends are fired. That's not true. We've got plenty of friends that
No,
are there, but in our circle of friends, none of us work for
our
WWE.
inner circle.
In our inner
Yeah,
circle, none
our
of our
group chat, our
friends,
main group
our
chat.
main
We've
group
all been
chat does
fired.
not work for WWE anymore. But
Yeah,
I still have
Dijak
a
would say, "Oh, I wasn't fired. I wasn't fired. I wasn't
I
fired.
was released from my I was not renewed.
No, I wasn't released. I was not renewed."
I was not renewed. I have plenty of people that I still care a great deal for that I am very happy are doing well. My heart is filled with warmth when I see Jonah having his monster match,
Yeah,
his
dude.
monster
Yeah,
match
it's so
match.
awesome.
Just knowing how
Yeah.
much he went through to even get to that point, it's awesome. It's great.
Dude,
I'm
imagine
happy.
being
Can't wait for it.
a foreigner. You just moved to a country and it's a global pandemic and you get fired and the country you come from won't take you back. Like, yeah, Jonah deserves the world, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
And not only that, tough
so
time to do
fucked.
it because his wife was pregnant at the time. So like
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so glad that it worked out for him. I'm so glad that it works out for anybody. I remember when we were still in WWE and Swerve was starting to take off in AEW, how awesome that is just because we know how
Yeah.
awesome he always could be. It's just,
Yeah.
it's good that there are so many places that people can do their art. And I think we are now in that, that's us. We are now able to do our art somewhere where people can see it because that's all that it's about. That's why we do it. It has nothing to do with the greater company war. If the companies hate each other, that's fine. But like,
No.
if I worked for McDonald's and Mansoor worked for Wendy's, I think we can still hang out.
Whoa! First of all, I would not fucking work for that dog shit company.
I
Okay,
actually prefer
I
Wendy's,
would never
so-
go to Wendy's if I could ever have an option to.
But
Everybody
could
knows
we
that I
be
would be a
friends
Taco
if
Bell
I
chat.
worked at Wendy's and you worked at McDonald's?
I would question your life decisions if you worked at Wendy's. I don't know why you would
It
work
means
for a
I'm
shit ass company like that.
that outlaw clown
insane.
show fast food restaurant.
I mean, you're not. I would accept you because at least you're not working at a fucking Arby's. Then I would disavow
Arby's,
you completely.
yeah, Arby's is like your crackhead fat.
That's insane.
Imagine
That's
working
insane.
for Arby's. Shout out
Imagine
to-
going to Arby's and being like, "I'm gonna have a meal at Arby's. I
Yeah,
have
I can't
all
get
the
upset
options
for
in the
you if
world."
you need a job to work at
My
Arby's,
great grandfather had to till the fields and spread seeds and grow fruit in order to have dinner to feed his children. and I have all the food options in the world. I can go to a store and buy any food I want, and I go to fucking Arby's. That's a disgrace.
Yeah, I can't think of a reason. Because it's not like maybe there's somebody who lives in a neighborhood where the only food source for
There is no
miles.
place in
I've never
America.
seen
There
that.
is
I've
no
never seen
place
a
in
lone
America
Arby's.
where Arby's is the only fast food place in the neighborhood. Impossible. It does not happen.
Dairy Queen? Yeah, Dairy Queen's good.
Are we done yapping?
Uh,
Chat,
could
have
be.
I said anything that's gonna get me in trouble?
Are we gonna get
Or have
canceled?
I
The views
can
are
chat
going up, so people must be like, "Oh, MXM is shooting hard."
shooting hard? Chat, tell me if I'm getting canceled
Sunday might just be a good day. It's no wrestling.
so I can cope live on stream.
Yeah.
All right, instead of having to cope a week
I know
later.
I'm not getting canceled because I keep it short and punchy.
The Wendy's mob is canceling you.
The woke Wendy's mob.
There's a Wendy's like live happening right now. They're all coordinating how to raid us. Wendy herself.
John Wendy.
All right, cool.
Are you still a fan of Mohammed bin Abdul Undertaker?
Oh, I'm actually so upset with myself because when that happened in AEW, I missed the chance to say that he actually reverted to Islam.
I was also upset that I said converted. Because
converted. I should have said.
You know that I know that. You know that I know reverting. You revert to Islam. You don't convert to Islam.
You don't convert.
I was. If I could have gone back and done anything, I would have. Shown that I was a true ally to Islam by saying that Undertaker reverted to Islam.
In your current Civilization 6 game, you've converted the entire world to Islam, right?
Almost.
So you are a true.
I had to.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
I had to eliminate my religious opponents because they simply would not convert. So I dropped a nuke on their lands and sent an army of apostles to show them the way.
Imagine you live in a country where you're the only country in the world that isn't a religion. Every single other country in the world is Christian. Let's say you're Buddhist. And the capital of Christianity nukes you, sends a nuke to every single city in your country. And as you're living in a radioactive wasteland, a bunch of Christian missionaries roll up, cross the border, and say, "Hey, there's a great religion."
It wasn't even to convert that country. It's that they fought to keep all of the city-states by their country as what were they, Sikhs? They were Sikhs.
Yeah, there's.
So they kept on they kept on sending people to inquisit Sikhism back into those countries, and I was like, listen,
we're very proud because just as because we share a brain cell, we both started playing Civilization 6 at the same time, just like on a whim. And on the bus to AEW, Tony Nese pops behind us and is like, "What are you guys playing?" And we were like, "It's Civ." And he was like, "Dude, I haven't played Civ since Civilization 3." And now he's playing Civ on his Steam Deck.
Civ.
So
yeah.
Yep. Yes, we did.
We need to get like a three-way alliance game going.
Yeah, that would be sick. Oh man, there's obviously it's great that we get to spend time with our families, but sometimes I do miss the road life where you're on a bus for 5 hours with the boys.
Bus ride,
yeah. Speaking of Muslim Mage, I marked out for the first time in public in front of my coworkers in AEW a few weeks ago at All Out in Chicago.
Oh, when he
everybody is sitting watching the monitor at All Out because it's Danielson and Jack, and then afterwards it's Swerve and Hangman. So everybody wanted to see those two matches. So everybody in the locker room is sitting there watching. From the top guys to the low to us. And when Danielson is lying there battered, and
after
Christian's music hits
to death, and then you hear,
that was before. No, that was before.
Oh, this was before.
That was before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Swerve was
but
after.
Christian was cashing in his
his
casino
feast or famine contract.
I literally, and I was like in the front of this big. I went.
It was like,
I stood. I was like, oh, oh! Everybody was like, what the fuck?
I was like, wow, this is so big for you. You're about to see your boy
Yeah, yeah. So that
crowned.
was a little embarrassing. That was a little and like Christian would not know this, by the way,
He doesn't
because
know.
I'm so like
Have you told
reserved
Kill
around
Switch at
him.
least when you were talking about your other proclivities?
I've told Nick Wayne.
You did tell
I
Nick
told
Wayne.
Nick that I told Nick I'm incredibly jealous of you. Like I
And
would kill to be
what I
in the
thought was
Christian
really
coalition.
funny is Nick Wayne. He's got to be, what is he, 20? What is he, like, actually a teenager?
Yeah, he's very young.
He was
He's
because
very young.
he's so young that talking to him is actually like talking to like somebody from a new generation. And I remember you said that, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I think Christian's really underrated." Like it was very just nonchalant to like to basically he's an
Yeah.
apostle to your Christ, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, Jesus is
Yep.
pretty sick. I like
Yep.
working with him. He's cool."
It's like you know you do not know the power you are underneath. Okay, you do not appreciate what you are witnessing every day of your life.
No, I saw him walk on water. It was pretty cool, but
That was sick.
it was sick.
All right. Do we even want to get into what we have planned today?
We can. It was going to be a short stream, just because we wanted to put out the link for our new jackets. Click that pinned link. Thanks, Gambit. We did have some stuff planned, but we did yap for a while. We can yap for a little bit longer. Sunday, I don't. Is there a reason why we don't do Sundays more frequently? We're getting good numbers.
Because we usually work on Saturday. We usually work on Saturday.
We're usually back by Sunday, though. It's something to consider.
Yeah, but we usually we land on Sunday, and then do you want to stream the same day that you arrive after we woke up early for a flight to get home? That's true. That's true. And we might have to stream. We might have to stream twice a week moving forward.
We might.
For a reason that I can't tell you, but we got something cooking.
Let's just say
we got
we've
something
ingratiated
cooking.
ourselves to our new place of business very well.
We got. You sound like a mix of the Joker, like Mark Hamill, and also Cody.
I'm always channeling.
Very well.
Very well. Did I play the Metaphor Refantasio demo? Yes, I did. It's awesome. It's so freaking good. Manny, it is just a JRPG, but it's like I've heard a lot of people say for a long time, hey, what if we did what if Persona wasn't stuck in high school? And that's what it is. It's like Persona, but it's in fantasy land. You're an adult. You can have adult relationships.
Isn't that just Fire Emblem?
In a way, it is, but Fire Emblem did bite that off of Persona.
Ghost Heart, y'all ever gonna do the D&D session?
Maybe some things took some time for good reason. Let's just say...
Just you wait.
Just you wait.
Just you wait. Mansoor, what is your... Foxy tip times on FS1.
What is that?
I don't think I will ever be given... I don't think I'll ever be given a show on Fox for obvious reasons. I can't say that. I can't talk about that.
No.
Yeah. The statute of limitations on that probably don't apply. I didn't sign an NDA though. Did I? Did I sign an NDA?
For what? Oh. No.
Did I sign an NDA? I didn't?
No. I didn't.
How would you know if I signed an NDA?
Because I was also, if we're talking about the same thing, I was also on that process. You just got further.
there was that process, and then there was a process for a show on Fox. So that's why I brought it up.
Oh,
And
that was that on Fox? Yeah, maybe.
that was on Fox. That was on Fox. And that's when I accepted that I was probably not going to get picked, even though they said, "You're going to be on the show. Tell your job you're going to be on the show." And I said, "I'm going to hold off a little bit." And they're like, "No, you're definitely going to be on the show. It's just a formality. Get all your ducks in a row." And then a week later, "Hey, we made some creative changes. Sorry, you can't
Hey,
do
we did a
it."
background check. We saw you've been.
Well, don't say that because there's a lot of things that could apply to that statement.
Oh yeah. Well, no,
And
we've done a recent background check.
a recent background
A
check, yeah,
recent
is
background
more.
check about something you might be a little bit passionate about.
Yeah, I highly doubt it was the thing from a long time ago because no one has ever brought that up as an issue in anything I've ever done, as far as like opportunities. But whatever.
Nobody likes Shia LaBeouf. Anybody can take that shot. You know he kills
Um,
dogs.
I heard about that. Yeah,
You seen this? You heard about this?
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because people bring that up to me. Like I'm the.
Like you were right. Addie
No, like
Greatness, thank you for subscribing. Hope you guys get to do another run in Japan, even if it was just 1 or 2 shows. Listen.
Brennan's wife is obsessed with going back to Japan for good.
My
She
wife
wants
is
to
ready
live
to,
there.
which is hilarious because she is not a weeb. She is
Yeah, not
a
at all.
normie, and
Yeah.
that trip to Japan she's like, let's move there for a couple years. Let's go for permanently. Let's go forever. I was like, we can't one does not simply just move to Japan forever.
Brennan's wife thinks that AW is going to pay to fly us from Tokyo every single week. I was like, we're probably going to have to become a little bit bigger deals before that happens. So I feel like the only path to us getting on a New Japan show through AW is we have to make our alliance with Milano Collection AT happen.
Yes.
Like that has to be the selling point. Is that
the
we bring
Japanese?
Milano
I've seen
Collection.
the Japanese. They want this. I've seen it.
We have to bring Milano
They
Collection.
message me in Japanese and they say, Mason, I want to see the collection.
Mason Kun.
Mason
Mason
Kun.
Kun.
Mason. Meisan. Mason Kun.
All right. For the last 30 minutes, let's set up a world, shall we?
A world.
Yeah, because it actually takes a while to like get started
Oh
on this
yeah.
thing.
Do I need to
So we might as well-
capture something?
Yeah, I'll start streaming. Yeah.
Yeah, stream on the Discord and then I'll pull it up.
I've deleted all my porno things, so
Oh. So now
not going to see any of that.
Now the Krogan won't molest us?
Nope, there will be no Krogan porn. So don't worry about that.
Let me just get these windows. Somebody you know very well.
Very well. What about the orc porn? Oh, I've deleted all my porn.
What? Why? What happened?
Because we're gonna stream it, so I can't have you guys looking at. Because what is a Krogan? It's a race in Mass Effect. It's this big reptilian. I don't want to get into it.
But it wanted
Manny's
to get
porn
into
folder jump scare. Funny story. I was at a friend's house in high school, my buddy Patrick, and I was doing
Shout out to
homework in his
Patrick.
room, and his dad was in there, and I deleted something by accident, and I didn't know how to get it out of a recycling bin. So he tried to help me, and I guess there's a function where if you click Finder or something, it opens your last open folder.
Uh-oh.
And I click it, and he's right behind me, and it just opens all my porn that I've saved on my computer.
What was it?
And I quickly.
What was the style?
At the time, the style at the time was pictures of naked women. Like it was pretty simple. It was about as simple as
it was just a boobie.
It was like if you Google big boobs and save the first 10 results. That's the kind of stuff that was in my porn folder. And
before you became
closed
depraved.
Not a single word was said after that about it. Nobody acknowledged it. we just continued the conversation as if nothing happened,
I
and I
mean,
still think about it to this day.
what do you say? It's your friend's dad, right?
If I was if I was a dad and my son's friend opened his porn folder, I would say, ah! I would try to embarrass him as much as possible. Probably. Cottonmouth, thanks for subscribing. Hell of a thing to come back to after the ad break. Yeah.
You're lucky we aren't talking about circumcision.
Oh boy, don't even get us started. Who was it that we got into a conversation about that with at work?
AEW, you started it several hundred times with in
I haven't
WWE.
started it. Somebody brings it up, and then you go, oh, "Don't even get him started."
Don't
And people
even
go,
get
"What do you
him
mean? Don't even get him?"
Was it Angelico? I assume they don't circumcise the South Africans.
It's possible.
That feels like how it would come up.
All right, do you have my window?
Yeah, it's up.
All right, chat. This is Novel AI. It's a powerful artificial intelligence tool that is trained using words to write stories. Basically, what we do here is we think of a prompt, and then with the aid of this AI model, we can basically do a choose your own adventure story where in any world or in any setting you guys want, we can place Brennan and myself and go about a merry. Is it like Dungeon AI? Yes, it is. It's sort of like an advanced version of Dungeon AI. I've been in the goth and
You pay for
industrial
this?
scene. Circumcision. Do I pay for this? Brother, the good stuff you always have to pay for. Trust
Yeah.
me. Circumcision and ass stuff comes up a lot more than you'd think. First of all, circumcision and ass stuff is totally different. Circumcision is a matter of human rights. Okay. No, I'm serious. It's not a sexual conversation. Ass stuff is. I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about our rights being violated at birth with no consent. But don't even get me started.
Don't get them started, chat.
So, chat. I want to hear some ideas as far as where you guys want to see us.
Where circumcision is mandatory.
Is okay. Setting. In a world where now this is very important because this first prompt, this line, is going to color our entire adventure. In a world where circumcision is mandatory. All right, chat.
Look what I did. Look what I did. Wendy's.
Chat, give me some more lines to add into our preamble. In America world. Okay. The Earth has united under one banner.
Flag.
America world.
This
A
is
single-
This is only pseudo related and probably will make you deploy Clay Manny or whatever. But this manga I read, Chainsaw Man, they've kind of landed on this thing where they've got like, how do I explain this quickly? Every concept has like a devil associated with it, and that devil like represents like the concept as a whole. So for example, the strongest devil in the world was the gun devil, because everybody's afraid of guns, right? Guns are the scariest thing, right? And there's this really cool panel from the most recent issue where the war devil, because everybody is afraid of war, reveals that the gun devil is their child because there is no guns without war, and they summon the gun devil, and the gun devil climbs out of the Statue of Liberty, and this is all in Japan, but obviously the strongest presence of guns is in America. And there's this sick image of the gun devil clawing out of the Statue of Liberty, and then the war devil like standing in front of it with her arm pointed up, pointing a gun in the air. And that was like where it cut, but it was sick. No spoilers, chat. I know you guys are anime onlys.
A resistance has started to form. Unlike my foreskin, which is lost forever.
Which is lost to time.
Chat, can you even read this? Because I remember last time we did this, the text was very blurry.
It looks okay on my screen, but it might be small on
Two
yours.
uncut heroes lead a desperate resistance against big circumcision. Two uncut heroes lead a desperate circumcision. Mansoor and Mason were hidden away by their parents at birth. Who are we raised by? It is very small and big in text.
The foreskin. Bring them
the
back.
foreskin. Yeah, that's true. It's small, Brennan. If you can zoom in on or do something.
I'm making it bigger.
Parents at birth. Adopted by a secret society of what's it called? Jelking?
Jelkers.
Where you try to regrow your foreskin? How do you even spell that?
Jelking?
Jelkers. Is that jelking?
The kids, they're talking about jelking.
Let me see. Jelking. Jelking is a penile stretching technique that is said to have originated with Sudanese tribes. Some say it can increase penis size. Oh, so it's not for foreskin regrowth.
You should know what the foreskin regrowth technique is.
Adopted by a secret society
with like a zip tie
of uncircumcised. How do you spell uncircumcised? What a disaster of a word. Uncircumcised. Was it with an S? Was it with a Z? How do you spell uncircumcised?
I couldn't tell you, honestly.
How do you spell this? Chad, help me out here.
How do you spell circumcised?
How do you spell uncircumcised? Is it with a C? No.
I can't believe comes.
Somebody help me out here. Uncircumcised. It's with a Z. Uncircum.
People are saying S.
Oh, with a C, circumcised. Got it. Thank you.
It's got cum and cis.
Resistance fighters. Freedom fighters.
I'm seeing
known
McMahon
as the foreskin. Okay. Domain expansion regrowth. Gotta work in the phrase "our forefathers' foreskins."
By our forefathers' foreskins, I punish
you. They seek to revive the founding forefathers' foreskins, a legendary collection of artifacts that were integral.
They're known as the Three Rings
of the nation. Don't say birth of the nation.
Too soon.
Founding of this nation. All right.
Oh yeah, can you also add I like the idea.
Led by Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Why Chavo? I like the idea of Gwyneth Paltrow leading a coven of foreskin thieves.
Foreskin thieves.
Like a female contingent of witches that are just stealing it for their spells.
They are hunted by Gwyneth Paltrow. A rogue agent looking to steal foreskins for her beauty products that would make the elixir of eternal youth.
I think we're cooking, chat.
I think we're cooking. The three cock rings. Their only hope is to wield the great cock rings.
Johnny Cockring.
And unlock their potential.
I think we're on to
something. All right, is this it?
I think we're on to something here.
All right, let's give a little for the AI. We'll just say Mason and Mansoor approach, and we'll see what the AI has for us. Mason and Mansoor approach the ruined, foreskinless brick building that houses the secret sex museum. Mason kneels as if there was a foreskin throne in the center. There is, Mace. I can see it. How does he know that your name is Mace?
How does it know?
What?
AI.
I didn't write
Has
Mace.
AI gone too far?
Wait a minute. Hold on one fucking goddamn second. I didn't write Mace one time in this thing.
Are we so well known as a duo that it just knows that it's us?
What the fuck?
Chat, are you seeing this, chat?
I'm a little bit freaked out. I kind of feel like I'm one of those guys in those ghost hunting shows. There is Mace. I can see it with my force sense, just as the king of the deserts and dessert.
How does it know you're from the desert?
Just as the king of the deserts and desserts foresaw. You must use the powers of your dick and nut scepter to find it. Whoa! 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 I'm not gonna.
What did it say?
I'm not gonna read that. I don't know. No, I'm not even gonna.
Did it
I
say
hope
the
nobody
N-word?
saw
Why
that.
does it say the N-word?
It did. It did say something really racist.
Wow.
We're literally about to get canceled because the AI just. Full disclosure, I did not write that. I don't know why the AI wrote that. That was really fucked up. I really hope that doesn't happen again. If it does happen again, we're just gonna stop the stream.
What was it?
Okay. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Very bizarre. You must use the powers of your dick and nut scepter to find it. Okay, so you have a dick and nut scepter. Okay. I'm gonna try and write these concepts down. Mason.
Yeah. What is
and
my class?
Mansoor. Do you wanna open the lore book? They have a lore book.
Yeah.
Okay. The lore book entry is Mason Madden. Mason Madden is a. What do you want your class to be?
Chat. What should my foreskin-based skill set be?
Well, you have a dick and nut scepter, so you must be a mage, right?
I'm a mage, right?
Yeah, you must be a mage.
There's got to be.
What about what is there something to like smegma, like smeg mage? Is smeg mage good?
Smeg dark, black.
Smeg mage. Black smeg mage? That sounds disgusting. Smeg mage is clever. I like smeg mage. Cum wizard, rain dragon. That's the best you could do.
I kind of like it.
Combat mage. Combat mage isn't bad.
Oh, yeah,
Smegmomancer. Smegmancer. Smegmancer. Smegmancer.
We got there.
We got there. Is a Smegmancer wielding the legendary dick and nut scepter.
Oh, Jizz Wizard.
Jizz Wizard's pretty good too. Is this should you be a multi-class?
Yeah,
is a Smegmancer and Jizz Wizard?
Smegmancer is somebody who wields the power of smegma with their charisma.
Here's the thing, like everybody's gonna think we're being very crass. The AI came up with all this shit. Dick and nut scepter. Mason stands at a towering 6'7".
For what? I'm a mage.
6'7".
This is why I never play myself in any kind of video game or role playing game.
You want to be a little girl?
Yes.
You can't be a little girl.
No,
you have to. You can be.
Shape shifting wouldn't be a part of my skill set, I guess.
No, towering 6'7", and is determined to destroy the shadowy secret society that opposes him. Activation keys: Mason, Smeg Mansoor.
Shut up,
Jizz Wizard. All right. The ground begins to shake, and a voice appears above Mason. Let's see what I've got my finger on the fucking
Keep
switch.
Your finger on the switch. Done.
Step into the threshold, Mason. As Mason approaches the foreskinned entrance to the museum, he hears a booming voice. It sounds like James Earl Jones. Rest in peace.
Rest
It
in
sounds like
peace.
James Earl Jones narrating the trailer of every action movie ever. Now, Brennan,
In a world.
do you want to role play a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you want to say something back? What do you want to say?
Step into the threshold. Say I need to know who he is before I go anywhere. I'm not a common whore. Whore.
I need to know who you are before I step into any hole, replies Mason. I'm no common hoa.
She's a whore.
She's a hoa. Arthur from Natural 9, thank you for subscribing. What did you walk into? This is an AI-assisted choose your own adventure. Mason had to stop himself from gushing all over the dark, black, cracked foyer floor. What did you mean by this? Beneath his feet.
I don't know what the
Mason, you must wake up. You have foreseen this. You must find the foreskin. I don't know who said that. Mason collapses on the floor, twitching uncontrollably and moaning for his lost foreskin. He imagines himself in a white wedding gown, walking down the aisle.
Wow,
His
this
hubby
is-
awaits him at the end.
This is
in a
very
white
realistic.
suit.
How does it?
And
No.
the Cleo says, "Congratulations, you will have a beautiful white wedding."
What wedding? Thank you for subscribing.
Bad luck, JK. Ask if he likes Eminem. Mason, do you like Eminem? Mason asks his groom to be. That guy looks like the unicorn, my adoptive father, Mason screams. No, shouts Mason, waking up to Mansoor's comforting lips and face covered in the remnants of a large amount of butter.
Why
This
butter?
is this feels I hope that's not a euphemism for something.
No, that would
but
be
yes, it does.
The word you're thinking of is batter.
Yes, sorry. Should I change it? I can change it to batter.
Yes.
We finally have arrived to the museum. I don't know why 2 is capitalized. The most ancient collection of foreskins and cock rings known to man. Mason stands up and rubs the cum off his eyes. The secret museum was large and dusty.
Gee, princess.
Filled with hundreds of centuries of old figures. All right, okay. In the memory, I will say Mason, Mansoor have found the ancient sex museum, hoping to find the great cock rings of destiny. This isn't. We didn't want it to be like this. Chad, if you have any. Chat, if you have any ideas to turn this around, please just type it in the. Mason stands up and rubs the cum off his eyes. Mason, oh my god! What? Okay, all right. Hold on. Author's note.
Why?
No slurs. No racism. No homophobia. No.
We're kind of doomed that AI is so easy to be racist.
What? No controversial writing in any way. Okay. Yes, info placed here will strongly influence AI output. All right. If that happens one more time, I know I said it before, but if that happens one more time, I paid for this. All right. Hopefully this helps. Okay. Mason had many questions.
Yes.
What the fuck? Okay, at least it's swearing is fine. What the fuck kind of dream was that, Mansoor? Mason confused. Were we married? Did you just come in my eyes? Was that blue ball cum? I feel it's giving like I want it to be a little more focused. Can we focus this story a little away from all this?
Cock rings?
Can we focus this a little bit away from this inappropriate stuff? We didn't want it to be like this. We just used the word foreskin and cock. Yeah, this is your fault. Perhaps a trip to Wendy's will hit. You're right. Mason and Mansoor decide before entering that a trip what's the right word? That a safe for work, appropriate stream, appropriate trip to Wendy's was in order. Okay,
Yeah.
let's turn things around here. It's a good meal, much better than In-N-Out. Well, let's not go crazy.
It's better.
Except
than
that some might say their fries taste very similar. Mason took a glance at Mansoor's hands-free, but didn't think about how long he may have been holding those giant French fries
your hands.
of his while watching him jizz all over the floor earlier.
Mm-hmm. Why?
We've made our way to the sex museum because we fear the resistance is on the brink of destruction. Okay. Now we must find the foreskin throne and use its power to defeat Gwyneth and her henchmen. Okay, thank you.
On track. That's what I was worried about.
Yes, and her henchmen. Mansoor says the pair enter the sex museum. Mansoor feels it's necessary to bold and italicize it in case anybody forgets or anyone just really wants a better understanding.
That's true.
All right. And chat, feel free to. At the center of the sex museum lies a massive bed of black fuzz and a cock ring throne. The cock ring is the size of a queen mattress and black, of course.
Whoa.
Mansoor steps up and lies against the throne and begins receiving visions. This AI was clearly trained on Wattpad. Great safe for work content here. Okay, this story is back on track. That's what you call back on track?
Yes.
All right. Do we want to Orlando Jordan appears. Okay. Orlando, I don't know if the AI is going to know who that is. Orlando Jordan appears. Before him. Orlando tells him their enemy is in the Forgotten Forests. Isn't that the area in Shadow of the Erd Tree? Isn't it the Forgotten Forest? Then Mansoor hears a voice.
That's what Dijak would say is in the Shadow of the Erd Tree.
You are in grave danger. Return now to avoid disaster. Who said that? Mansoor asks. Wait, why didn't I receive a vision like that? Asks Mason.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mason leaps to the bed beside the cockring throne and lies down and gets up. Then he then he tries again and gets a vision.
What is this?
Okay.
Skyrim?
He gets an alert, and it's from his uninstaller app informing him, alert, rejected by virus protection, Smegmathon 2043?
That's pretty
Smegmathon? Funny. What is the Smegmathon? Chat, somebody tell me what the Smegmathon is so I can put it in the lore book. Smegmathon 2043. What is that?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Smegmathon 2043.
That sounds like Alex Jones conspiracy theory. So
in the year 2043, they're going to collect your smegma.
The elites in 2043, they have this plan, right, where they want to get everybody together. They want to collect everybody's smegma, all the smegma in the solar system, and get them in one jar. They call it 2 guys, 1 cup.
Chad, any ideas for Smegmathon? Write up a little prose for Smegmathon. 24-hour Smegmathon is Mason's favorite game.
Well, it's got a virus, right?
Is it like Soggy Biscuit? Smegmathon. It sounds like a digital audio workspace. Like Audacity? It's the government chip in your brain blocking any anti-circumcision propaganda. Okay.
Now you're cooking, Tio.
That works for me.
Suave.
Smegmathon 2043. I don't know what the 2043 is for. Is the government chip in your brain blocking any anti? Okay. Mason has received 20 virus alerts from that app in the past 5 days. He uninstalls his latest viral notification. His contact photo for Pee Wee Herman flashes on the screen.
I love Pee Wee Herman.
Rest in peace. Also,
Yeah, rest in peace.
um, maybe you should clear this. Who is? What is this? Go away. Mason's mood changes abruptly. Shit. We forgot to give dick to Pee Wee. Mason falls off the bed and begins weeping and hyperventilating. Call him and let him know we keep. Brennan, do you want to finish this sentence?
Matt Morgan.
Morgan. Morgenstern's foreskin.
Morgenstern.
Mansoor hesitates. I don't know why they added Stern. Mansoor hesitates and turns away from Mason and excuses himself. I can't do that. My relationship with him is awkward. What?
What?
Your cousin is fucking him now, not you. Replies Mason. Ugh, I don't want to think about it.
Can you introduce Muhammad bin Abdul Undertaker?
I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare introduce Muhammad bin Abdul Undertaker. I won't. In fact, I'm going to try and move the plot along. Gwyneth, I'm going to have Gwyneth Paltrow enter the scene. Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm just going to say Gwyneth Paltrow. Hopefully it picks up what we're putting down. Gwyneth Paltrow flings herself through the wall, landing on the foot of the bed of fur. She throws a brick to Mason's forehead.
Whoa!
She grabs Mansoor's waist, and Mason begins to jizz uncontrollably.
Yeah.
It's so juvenile.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put an author's note.
By a 13-year-old.
It's written by like a lol so random Tumblr. No offense to Tumblr, one of our big fan bases.
Our big fans, we love Tumblr.
I'm gonna say try and write in a mature style.
About the circumcision world.
Yeah. Gummy worms arriving. Titanic tongue genie. Peeping tail telephones.
I love. No, this is System of a Down song. Gummy worms arriving. Titanic tongues genie. Peeping tail telephones. Terracotta pie.
I just wrote that I wanted to write in a more mature style.
I think it's
and it literally just threw the most random. Okay, I'm changing the preset. Okay, I'm gonna go with carefree.
Plutonium wedding rings, bicycle settings, icicle shoestrings. One
summoning a one. All right, let's see what they got next. Lickless locker rooms, sheepshed schooling, dust bunny, budded bookshop.
Wow,
Cleo says, "Wow, these all sound like great ideas." Let's keep it going.
What if this is actually
deliveries?
This feels
Devastating
like it's
dad
summoning
delivery.
a digital devil saga.
Devastating dad delivery. Tongue-tied trees. High-five full-folded forest.
What is happening?
Pink-shelled palace. Missing pipe pianist. Sun-setting swan. Double deed door.
This could be a curse. She's summoning Mara, the dick demon.
The dick demon. Mason shouts. Oops. You know, the one that gave us our powers? Oh no, Mansoor yells as he is teleported through space and time by a magic portal, ending up in a dungeon. Okay. Mason is left behind to fight off Gwyneth Paltrow and Mara, the dick demon. You'll never defeat us, Mason. How can I, Mason asks.
It'd be really cool if she just told me straight up.
I will possess your body. You will not have control over yourself. But what about my foreskin? You will be my host until I find the foreskin.
No!
This is taking a turn. Okay. What comes next? You're a demon. You're not even supposed to exist. All right. Let's get to the action. Gwyneth unlatches her jaw. Her mouth stretching all the way down to her stomach. Mara's cock extends from her mouth. All right. And penetrates Mason's mouth. This
I
is.
thought you got rid
You
of
know
your
what?
porn mods.
Are my porn presets still in this? Because this is all right. Let's hold on. Okay. I'm gonna write a new author's note. This no sex scenes. No erotic. No eroticism.
Rated PG-13.
Yes, thank you. Rated PG-13. Gwyneth unlatches her jaw, revealing rows and rows of teeth and a giant mouth. She lunges forward. She wraps herself around Mason, trying to eat him, but her jaws aren't big enough to swallow him whole. Well,
Vor is
that's
okay.
actually kind of putting over your size.
Yeah, thank
Mara
you.
steps up, ready to pounce. And chat, if you want me to put something in here, please, I'm begging you, give me something. Suddenly the boys are on Hello Kitty Adventure Island. You know, I might need to do that to turn things around. But I also am kind of scared of what they would come up with.
What would you do to Hello Kitty?
I don't even ask me that. Please don't ask me that.
Oh, yeah, back to you in the dungeon.
Don't worry, this will hurt. I'm a top. I'm not
That's
used to
not
the
true.
pain. That's not true. All right, let's do a scene change. Mansoor is teleported to a mysterious dungeon. Hello? I've been waiting for you, says a familiar voice. Orlando! It's a trap, shouts a familiar voice. Theo? Who's Theo? Theo? Who the fuck is Theo?
Huxtable.
I'm gonna keep it on Orlando.
Orlando!
I've been held here. It is the lair of a dark lord, a very powerful wizard. I'm trapped.
Know what his race has to do with it.
I have come to rescue you. No, I am already dead. Oh!
Wow, you've given up, huh?
In a shocking twist. Mansoor sees Orlando Jordan's decapitated head sitting on a stone altar. Who could have done this? Why? It was the Dark Lord. He's trying to harness my powers for his own evil. What powers? My powers are that I can see the future and have prophetic dreams. My spirit guides me. The Dark Lord is trying to use my powers for evil. I will send you to him. Okay. Okay, that's fine. The Dark Lord appears from the shadows, his robes flowing behind him as he slowly emerges. I've been expecting you. I'm here to take you down. You can try.
You can try.
All right, back to Mason. Mara is preparing to take over his body and he's struggling. Mason, just give up. You're going to die anyway. Just give up. No, I can't. Brennan, do you want to say something? Or do you want to do something?
I feel like the story calls for me to actually get possessed by Mara so that we can fight.
That you're just saying that because you want to be a girl.
Mara's a guy.
You want Gwyneth Paltrow to take over your body.
Yeah. No, I think it's just better for your character arc. To have to face your friend.
Orlando Jordan got taken out of his Legolas gear. I don't think you're thinking of the right Orlando. You
got your Orlando's crossed.
We're not. Who's the Orlando in Lord of the Rings? What's his name?
Orlando Bloom.
Bloom, yes.
Let me get you
the one ring to regrow them all. That's actually really good.
Funny.
The one ring to regrow them all. That's pretty good. Put that in the lore book.
The one ring. And one ring to
all right, I'm just gonna Deus Ex Machina. Mansoor is spat out by another portal, but he has changed.
What happened?
He looks like a young, hotter version of himself. Whoa,
yeah,
whoa!
Shots
Wait a
fired.
minhave
You've aged.
What the fuck?
In the past couple
What?
of years, you've aged.
I'm 28. I've
It's
had a
over.
kid.
You've hit the wall.
I have not peaked. Why is this AI reading me? Why is this racist, homophobic AI reading me for
you for
filth?
filth.
This is really fucked up. I'm back, Mace. Whoa, what happened? I'm hotter now.
I'm changed.
How is that possible? I've become more powerful.
I put you over.
What do? We fight. They go at each other trading blows. Why are we fighting? Why are we fighting? Stop! We're supposed to be fighting the bad guys, not each other.
That's true.
This is the only way. What do you mean this is the only way? No, I like you realizing that we're not supposed to be fighting. Gwyneth. Gwyneth tries to attack Mansoor, but he's too fast. You'll never beat me. Oh yeah? Yeah.
Gosh,
What makes you think you can?
You're like the kid in the RP server. That's you're just too slow.
What makes you think you can beat me? Because I have the force.
Because I beat off every night.
Oh man, I feel like we need a mix. I'm gonna go back to Asper and just hopefully it doesn't surprise me anymore.
What is Asper?
It's the style of writing. So Asper is a little more random. I switched it to a more like consistent model, but Asper is the model that was like throwing out slurs. So
Vicinity of obscenity in your eyes.
Mansoor holds up a book, a copy of the complete dictionary of sexual words and phrases. I'm gonna change that to dictionary. If you want to beat me, then you'll have to know all the words and phrases in this book. Mason shakes his head. No way. That book is disgusting. I'm not reading that filth. You'd better learn how to. I'll make sure you never get a chance to. That's a cold line. That actually is a cold line.
That's right before like an edit. You better learn how to, or I'll make sure you never get a chance.
That's cold. Write that down.
I could
Write that down. What is that song?
I don't know. I just know what happens in cold edits.
All right, a badass edit begins playing.
I could drop tires in this. I could drop flies.
Some epic. A badass edit begins playing some epic music. Boom, boom. I'm not reading it, and there's no way I'd let you make me. Then I'll read it to you.
Oh, let's go.
Every word. Mason's eyes go wide and switch colors several times. When Mansoor finishes, a tear runs down Mason's left eye. A strange, unnatural wave of power flows through him and his dick swells a few inches. Thank you. Mason screams and runs and jumps and does flips and rolls and even begins doing acrobatic pirouettes. This is awesome.
Now you're ready.
This is awesome. A crowd begins to chant in all caps. Master. Mason whips out his master machine gun spewing cock and begins firing cum balls. Okay. I'm gonna make that a little more vague because that feels a little non-stop.
This thing types like who was that guy, like the schizophrenic guy that was typing about like master computers and like the N-word?
Terry Davis?
Was that who it was?
It was Terry Davis, I think. Each ball explodes upon impact. Behold my gigantic shotgun of seed. Write that down. Write that down, Brennan.
That's really good.
Wait a minute. There are some other secrets here. Vince Russo. You may want to grab this. The sound of boots on the cobblestone paths comes from behind. Oh no, we got to get out of here. Oh, it's probably the circumcision forces.
Oh,
it's the
villains.
The footsteps grow closer. Let's see who it is. Grow closer. And the source appears.
Who is it?
Is that the right word?
Appears, yeah.
Around the bend. James Marston?
From
From Red
Cyclops?
Dead Who's James Marston?
That's the guy from the Sonic movies.
Excuse me?
He's the human.
That
He's
the
Sonic's dad.
actor?
Yeah.
That's the name of the actor or the name of the character?
That's the name of the actor.
I thought it was the guy from Red Dead Redemption.
No, that's John Marston.
Who the fuck is James? Yeah, it's the name of the actor who was Cyclops and the guy in Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay. James Marston appears. Well, if it ain't my three favorite wizards, you ain't. Why does he have a southern accent? You ain't thinking of pulling any funny
Because
business, are
you
you?
thought it was John Marston.
Behind him, pregnant Sonic appears. Behind him, pregnant Sonic appears, unbuckling his 8-inch rod. He doesn't look a day over 50. Sonic the Whizman, where have you been? What happened to you? Sonic strokes his meat. Sonic strokes his meat and doesn't respond. Just grins from ear to ear, showing us what he's working with.
Does he have realistic bloody eyes?
What the hell is going on? Show them your feet, Sonic. Sonic lifts his feet, as sweaty as his palms.
Yeah.
He wipes his dick. He wipes his dick on the side of one and slips them both into his mouth. Both his feet? Into his mouth.
This is like Sonic Dreams collection.
This isn't erotic at all. Does anybody want to help me with this?
Help! Help!
Rouge the Bat? I wouldn't dare do Rouge the Bat. I
Oh my
wouldn't
gosh,
dare.
I would.
Should I keep the AI going or should I?
I'm not a furry, but
Sonic swallows himself until he disappears like the Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
How the fuck do you spell disappears? Oh, okay. No, that's not how you spell it. I spell disappears. Oh, with two P's. Okay. The power of the Force flows through Mason's body. Thank you. Who's I? What is this first person?
It's shifting perspectives.
Avant-garde. Mason hears a hoe calling.
A hoe?
What's a hoe? A younger Sonic asks. I have no idea. All I know is it sounds like a farmer's dream come true. Write that down. Write that down. I don't know if that's clever, but
a hoe?
What's a hoe?
A hoe
All I know is it
a farmer uses. It is clever.
An edit of one of Mario Kart's Rainbow Roads begin playing, and Mason pops a wheelie.
It's
Maciums. Who's Maciums? Amazing, powerful, hot, super, extremely incredible.
It's about to start spiraling. Keep going.
Noticeable, and manly. Mason says before blowing the head off Sonic with his long-ranged cum fireballs. They walk over to the smeared body. Never turn your back on the enemy, remarks Mansoor. That's good advice in any situation.
Thanks, Cleo.
Okay. Suddenly it's Japanese. Okay. Suddenly it's Japanese. Animation time. They do a battle sequence. Mason is wielding the sacred dildo spear, defeating their enemies one by one with cum. First of all, you're not even using the right weapon. Is wielding the dick and balls scepter.
Dick and boss.
Which is a glowing white club enshrouded in dark wisps of a mysterious smoke. In this game, there can only be one. You are just a blubbering lump in my unconscious mind. Write that down. That's pretty. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Well, you've hit your head too many times. That's actually
true.
true. Or
This is
maybe
true.
you really have become superhuman. What is this? Some comic book? Magic words
Thank you for
nonsense or
subscribing,
what?
Rain Dragon 23.
Papa Shango? It's Dick and Nut Scepter. Wait, why do I remember that? Oh yeah, it's Dick and Nut, not Dick and Balls. Thanks for the clarification. The Godfather pulls up with his hoe train to the sound of a Deftones song. First of all, what Deftones song? Be specific. The Godfather from WWF pulls up with his hoe train to the sound of
No, it
Change
should
in
be
the
Nine
House of
Inch Nails.
Flies.
It should be Nine Inch Nails. Like
No, I want Change in the House of Flies. I watched you
Diamond Eyes.
change. So, are we gonna? They just ignored the Godfather completely. What? James Marston approaches Mansoor and Mason riding atop a chariot of his lovers. What is that? Like a
That's
flesh
fire.
chariot?
That's awesome.
That is fire. Mason, you want to know the truth about all this, don't you?
Yes, tell me the truth.
Yes. Well, then here is the story of how I came to this world. The cutscene loading bar fills as Mason and Mansoor listen to the epic tale. Orlando Jordan laughs at the pitiable, bloated forms of Scion and Thresh. What are you talking about? Meanwhile, Mansoor spots a familiar face on the video wall, Mason's ex, the beautiful alien Marzia Kjellberg. The crowd chants, Dirtkin Dancer! What the fuck is happening?
Is that PewDiePie's wife?
Marzia Kjellberg?
Google it.
I'm gonna look it up. Okay. Marzia
Dirtkin
Kjellberg.
Dancer.
Marzia Kjellberg is an Italian businesswoman known for her videos on her now inactive YouTube channel. She is married to Swedish YouTuber PewDiePie. Yep, that's
Yeah!
PewDiePie's wife. Why do they describe her as an alien, though?
Because she's Swedish or Italian.
Whore for words, cookie dick, laser lips, every ruffian. Again, the AI is.
Why does it do this?
I don't know. I honest to God don't know why it's been spewing out slurs and
Pee-wee
just
Herman's
freaking out.
bestest friends.
Mason has an idea to help Sonic out. What if we teamed up? We could work together to stop Gwyneth Paltrow.
What? Sonic isn't our friend. He showed up pregnant and started stroking his meat.
Nah, we'd never work together. We're different kinds of people. Besides, you haven't shown me any proof that you can change. Proof? I showed you I can read words from a book. That's what I want to. That's where I want to end the sentence. Yeah, Sonic did die. The AI is not getting that. Words from a book isn't the kind of power we're talking about here. This is way more powerful. But isn't this power? I can think about things like trees and animals. I want to end the sentence there as well.
Isn't this power? Imagine that like a Star Wars. Isn't this power? I can think about things like trees and animals.
I can read words from a book.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars.
That's not power, that's imagination. Sonic shows them a vial. What's that? It's liquid power. If you drink this, you'll be able to use it for good.
Oh, let's drink it and turn Super Saiyan.
Okay. Mansoor and Mason drink from the vial. They can feel, and then let's see what the AI has to say about that. They can feel the power surging through their veins. It feels like the time someone gave Mansoor edibles at a. Hold on,
We're straight edge.
I've never done that. Mansoor. It feels like the time someone gave Mansoor edibles at a party once. Now Mansoor feels drunk off the power. Mason, not so much. His innards struggle and yearn to shit themselves.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? What do you mean?
I have an upset tummy.
WTF. I don't want to live in a reality with Sonic. Marston claps. Nice, the old classics. All right, let's try that one again. All of a sudden, the powers leave them, and they are both naked and laying on the forest floor. Suddenly, their weapons also disappear. What? This can't be happening. I'm naked. No, we're not vicious malfunk. We're not reading fantasy fan fiction. This is an AI. We're trying to get the AI to write fan fiction about us, but it so far has not been very
That
helpful.
cockle conniver.
Wh- that cockle conniver Gwyneth? Oh. Uh and I'm lying here butt naked. Come to think of it, I should probably put on some pants. Um what's the best way to move something along? Suddenly, right? You just put in suddenly and then they do
Suddenly.
something? Suddenly a gigantic Godzilla-sized Cenobite? Is that the guy from Hellraiser?
Is it?
Isn't that what they call the demons in Hellraiser? A
I just thought it was John
Godzilla-sized
Hellraiser.
Cenobite comes down from the sky. The earth shakes and thunder roars as it lands on its feet. It speaks. I am the guardian of this forest. Cookie Monster, but he's the cocky monster and he fucking loves cock. You know what? Fine. Fine. Suddenly, it appears.
Cocky?
Cookie Monster.
Cocky?
But he's the cocky monster and he fucking loves cock. And if this goes in a way that I'm not comfortable with, we're gonna rein it back. Good God. Mason flails his arms. The monster. I think my author's note is actually helping.
Ouch?
That's a very Joss Whedon line. Ouch much? All right. Okay, I think we learned something from this experience. I'm deleting this whole story. This the first
But
the
the
first thing I'm
lore.
going to I'm I'm not taking any more prompts from the chat. Second of all, next time we do this, I'm gonna have a focused setting that we can put ourselves into so that one, no slurs, two, no devolving into sex scenes. Okay?
I've never done
So
this with you, and it hasn't devolved into sex stream or sex scenes.
that may be true, but we've done this a few times before and it's never put on legit slurs on the screen. So there must be some kind of, I don't know. This is a new model, so it's possible that they're still working out the kinks. But yeah. Yeah, I'll take prompts from the chat. I'm not gonna let the chat talk about fucking foreskin police and Gwyneth Paltrow robbing us of our tips.
That was kind of fire.
What is what is the name of this program? It's called Novel AI. Need a Beast Mortos appearance next time. Next time we'll do like I'll download an Elden Ring module and we can put ourselves in Elden Ring. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
That could be fun.
We can make
Yeah.
Dijak come up with stuff for Elden Ring.
Nobody fucks in Elden Ring, so we should be fine.
Not unless it's your brother.
On that note,
all right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully, we don't get canceled.